it's LynnieCDesigns. I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator based in West Sussex in the UK. Thank you for joining me. And today I'm going to recreate this fun card. It's one of the cards that we made at my card class this week. And I've used some Celebration products, which I think are so much fun. The Counting Sheep stamp set and coordinating dies. Now we have misplaced the die for the hat, but I'm not really worried about that because it's quite easy to cut out. These are items that you can earn for free with a qualifying order, so there'll be links in the description box below. So if I show you what I'm using, and I've done some of the die cutting in advance, that up there. I've got a base of balmy blue, and this is half a sheet of A4 cut lengthways and scored at 14.8 centimetres. 2 pieces of basic white cut to 14.5 centimetres by 10.2 centimetres so that you can just see a little bit of outline. One for the inside, one for the outside. We'll be doing some stamping and some blending on that initially. I've got another piece of basic white so that I can do my stamping. And I have die cut ahead of time the fence, a couple of balloons and a sun. And I've also created a mask using the basic borders dies. I do love these dies. I'm going to use this to create my background sky and grass using 2 of the blending brushes. The inks I'm using: Memento, Crumb Cake, Pacific Point, Balmy Blue and Granny Apple. So let's get to the stamping. I'm going to stamp my 3 sheep, and I'm going to die cut these out so it doesn't really matter which order I'm going to do these in. I'm going to do a hat. That didn't stamp very well, so we'll do that again. I'm going to stamp the sentiment. That's in Pacific Point. And I'm going to cut that out, and then that's the piece for the inside. So this will be my background piece. So I'm going to use this to create a little cloud bank. I have got my balmy blue ink and a blending brush. Tap off a little bit. And add a little bit of blue over the edge of that template, and then move it down. Now if you don't want to have a uniform cloud bank, you move it down like that. Actually, I'm going to do that way round. Add a little bit of blue, and you come in off the edge. If you hold the bottom, you get a little bit of a lighter touch, and if you push your finger on the top of the blending brush, you get a little bit of more pressure, like that. So I am going to keep coming down. soft or dark. Go that way. I want it very subtle. I'm going to do one more there. And I do love these blending brushes, they're fabulous. So that's really lovely. It's nice and subtle, but you can see there's a little cloudy day. And then I use the bottom of the template. I'm going to use my grid sheet like so. Change brushes and Granny Apple Green. It's nice and vibrant for the grass. Now you don't have to do a straight line, but I am going to do a straight line. So let me do that there. Tap off, and then in a circular motion. I'm going to do that bit first. Pop that out of the way. And just build up the colour. Lovely, that'll do for me. And now I then go back in over with the blue just along the horizon, just so that that's not quite so stark, that bottom piece there. Lovely, happy with that. Now I've got the little grass stamp in the set. I'm just gonna randomly fill that in. There we are, some little grass. And the only other bit I'm going to do, I want to do a little bit of that on the inside, so I'm going to come up, just want to have a little bit of green on the inside there. Just in that corner. I'm going to come back in. Just double stamp to make that into a little hillock there, because we are going to pop our little sheepy on there, and I think I'm going to do exactly the same. So I've die cut these out, but one last bit of blending. I've got a little bit of crumb cake, and this is crumb cake as well, and I think it just gives a little bit of extra definition to the die cut, because this is a die cut and it also embosses. And it brings out the detail if you add some ink, tone on tone ink. It just brings up and defines those little lines and bits that are embossed, which you don't necessarily see when it's without the extra ink. There we go. Pop that out of the way. We are going to just flip this over for a moment. There we go. Get rid of that distraction there. A little bit of a blob here from when I was making a card yesterday, and we can now get on with building our scene. So I'm going to just copy exactly what I did last time. So let's get some glue on here. I'm going to worry about that, but I put a little bit too much glue on there. But we are going to use dimensionals for our sheepies, but before we do, I'm getting too excited there. I'm just going to use some blends to colour, add a little bit of colour to our sheep. So I want to colour their faces. This is soft or light petal pink, and as you know, this will dry even lighter. I'm hoping my hair didn't get in the way there. I noticed on the video last week that my frizzy hair appeared. Not sure why I've coloured their legs in, but anyway. And then I'm going to add, this is the light smoky slate, and I'm just going to add a little bit, a few dots around here, just to give it, gives a little bit of shading. And I'm going to colour the hooves in. And then I'm going to use the colour lifter on those bits just to soften those out, but I'm just giving a little dot. This gives a little shading, and that's a good thing about the stamps that we have. I mean, stamping is not something that I was ever very confident with, but our stamps tend to give you an idea of where there needs to be some shading. So the artists that create these dies for us have done a lot of the hard work, which is fabulous. And now I've got the colour lifter, I'm just going to quickly go over that. You won't see much right at the beginning, but it does. I move that ink about, blends it. Just had a panic there. I'd put camera on pause, and I'm hoping I've unpaused it. if that makes sense. So now we are going to do exactly the same. We're going to have that one there. We're going to have that one there. I'll put a little hat on, so I'm going to colour this in to match the balloons that we've got, red and blue. And this is they're both the light real red and Night of Navy, and I think that works quite well in with the Pacific Point cardstock for the balloon. So we're going to pop that one up on dimensionals, and I'm just going to pop a couple there. That's there. I'm going to pop this one up on dimensionals as well, but just part of it, and then I'm going to glue that bit down. It just gives a nice little bit of differentiation. Ooh, it's a big word for me. So I'm just going to cut a little bit of dimensional there for the hat. I have a party hat for the birthday sheep. There we go. And then we're going to have a bit of dimensional, and you can see I'm actually cutting up and using the edge pieces. Don't waste any. Giving that a little bit of shape. And now I'm just going to put the tiniest little bit of glue on there, because I want the sheep holding the balloon rather than it just sort of disappearing in the background. So there's one there and there. It would help if I took the back off the dimensional. Oh dear. I had my card classes this week, which was just so lovely. I did 3 in-person classes. We all took, you know, were careful and took precautions. But it's just so lovely to be able to craft with my regulars. And I think this time I'm going to also pop the sun up on a dimensional. There we go. We'll pop that in there, shining through the clouds. And what did I do? So the sentiment was glad it's your birthday, and I just want it's your birthday. So again, tiny little slivers. Ooh. Yep. Pop that there. Put it on the right way up, eh? And then these can be glued into the base. There we go. And I think the only thing to do is to get my Wink of Stella and give the sun and the balloons a little bit of shine. Lovely. So there we go. 2 cards exactly the same. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. If you're not a subscriber, then hit that subscribe button and the notification bell. Thanks for watching. See you again next week. Bye for now.